Hello everyone, welcome back, Savard is here, and coming back with a new part of What If Deku Eat the Smoked Devil Fruit. Now where we last left off, Izuku finally got Shinso out of the prison after getting in a fight between him and the number 3 hero Hawks. Hawks using a new ability inside his suit, which is basically covering his, of course, wings and feathers with the Stone of the Sea, so being able to fight Izuku with it. In the end, Izuku, knowing that he cannot win that fight, he decided to run away and after that just taking Shinso out of the prison. In the end, Shinso just sleep inside the abandoned warehouse after Izuku and Shinso just got a couple of things inside the building, and Izuku just waiting outside just to see if anyone will gonna attack them from heroes or villains. And before we get right into it, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's get right into it. As after that, in the next morning, Shinso finally wake up and Izuku said, "Oh, Shinso, are you awake?" As Shinso, right now sleeping on the couch, he said, Midoriya, good morning. As Izuku said, "Oh, yeah, good morning. Here, made the breakfast." As after that, Izuku just putting the breakfast on the table, Shinso said, "I didn't know that you are such a good, cooker. When did you learn this?" As Izuku said, "My mom taught me a lot of things." As after that, Shinso said, I'm sorry about that." As Izuku said, No, it's nothing. I mean, um, it's, let's just forget about that. Let's just eat our breakfast, alright?" As Shinso said, "Alright, Midoriya." And after that, of course, they start to eat the breakfast, and Shinso asked in the middle of the meal, he said, "So, Midoriya, what are we gonna do now?" As Izuku said, "I thought that the plan is simple. We will just gonna get hold of, that neck, and after that we will gonna make him say everything in the news. We will gonna make him show the truth about himself and what he done from all these years." As after that, Shinso said, "Alright, Midoriya, but do you have any idea? I mean, the heroes, Nick literally having the hero agency on his side, the public safety commission on his side, and the number 3 Hawks on his side, and doesn't and remember also all these heroes and police officers. What can we do exactly?" As Izuku said, "Well, maybe he have an army, but we can get our own army. But it will not gonna be such an idea that you're really gonna like." As after that, Shinso said, "What are you talking about?" As Izuku said, "You already know what I'm talking about." As Shinso immediately stand up and said, "You're not speaking serious. You doesn't want us to work with villains." As after that, Izuku said, "I know, but we doesn't No, Midoriya, I'm not gonna work with villains. They are criminals, killed people before, steal things before, but I didn't do any of that. I'm not gonna do that, Midoriya." As after that, Izuku said, "But tell me, you're not really seriously planning on just going there and just fighting everyone until miraculously being able to get close into Neck, and after that just brainwash him?" As of course, Shinso said, "You're made out of smoke. You are the one that's supposed to do that." As after that, Izuku said, "Yeah, but they know my weak point. They know that I cannot handle the Stone of the Sea, and I cannot swim. So I'm sure that they have plans of that. I'm sure they have some sort of heroes that use water or something like that. And I'm sure that they made weapons out of, the Stone of the Sea. So I can't just attack them. You know that we doesn't have any other choice than just working with villains, Shinso." As after that, Shinso said, "Damn it. Eh, but when everything will gonna done, we will gonna send them into the police. Alright, Midoriya." As after that, Izuku said, "Alright, Shinso, alright." As after that, Shinso said, "So, what kind of villains are we gonna work with?" As Izuku said, "Alright, I have an idea in my head, but we need masks first." As after that, Shinso said, "I have a couple of these in my, here. I was, love to make masks for time to time, just, drawing on them." As Izuku said, "Oh, really?" As Shinso said, "Yeah, here." As after that, Shinso just taken out of a bag 2 masks. one with two, purple lines, and of course two holes to be able to see through them, and put it on his face as he throw into Izuku a mask that having, of course, a full black mask with a, some white on it, like taking the shape of a smoke around the mask. As after that Izuku said, very funny. As after that Shinso said, yeah, just wear it already, it's better than nothing. All right. As after that Izuku said, all right, let's go. And after that, Izuku and Shizu start walking down the street, just wearing a hoodie jackets and putting their masks on, just making sure that no one's seeing them. As Shinsu said, so Midoriya, who is exactly are we gonna work with? As after that, Izuku said, we will gonna work with the mafia, or at least the Yakuza. As after that, Shinsu said, when did you even manage to know them? As Izuku said, I managed to get a lot of information when I was, working with the Public Safety Commission. They really have a lot of things about the, of course, the people in the heroes organization, villains organizations, organizations, are a lot of things, and I managed to find a couple of things about someone that called Overhaul. As after that Shinso said, Overhaul? What's about that guy? As Izuku said, he's a guy that, as I supposed to, that I know, he's just trying to make some sort of a bullets that can delete the quirk of someone forever, or at least temporarily. As after that Shinso said, seriously, does that exist? As Izuku said, yeah, and he also making some sort of a drugs that making someone quirk much more stronger, and things like that. But if I know he really, wants power and also money, that's the two things that he loved the most. As after that Shinso said, are you sure about this, Midoriya? As Izuku said, yeah, I'm sure about it. But one other thing, whatever you do, don't let him touch you, or he might disintegrate you. His quirk is called Overhaul. He's able to, of course, disintegrate someone or make his body explode. He basically able to reassemble and deassemble anything, giving him complete control over all matter. So just make sure to not be touched by him. As after that Shinso said, I have a bad feeling about this. And after that, Izuku finally got into the place. As after that, two people just standing in front of his face as they said, what are you? What are you want? What do you want? As after that, Izuku said, I want to talk with Overhaul. Is he right now inside this house? As after that, Shizu coming close to him and said, what are you doing? Why is your voices changing? As after that, Izuku said, I have I have a device that changed my voice. It's also something that I kept with me from the agency of, Neck. Don't worry, I'm just gonna make sure that they doesn't, don't know my sound or face, alright? Just make sure that they doesn't see your face, Shinso. As Shinso just standing a little bit back, and after that they continue saying, what are you talking? How do you know about Overhaul? As Izuku continues saying, just tell Overhaul that the black smoke screen is waiting for him outside. Tell him that I want to join him, that I want to join his organization. As after that, the two guys just looking at each other and said, so, what's your quirk? As Izuku said, is this enough explanation for you? As after that, the whole place being covered by, white mist, as both of them being blinded. And after that, they said, where did you go? As after that, when the smoke clears, Izuku putting his hand on their shoulders. As they looking back, they see him behind of them. As after that, Izuku said, you're lucky. If it was in another place and another time, if we were enemies, you might be already dead. As they both of them start shaking in fear, and Shinso just thinking about how Izuku is basically such a great actor. If it wasn't that he know that he's acting, he would thought that he is a villain. At least he hope he's not a villain. Anyways, as after that both of them said, alright, just come with us. And what about you, the other guy? As after that, Shinso also, speak and said, me? I doesn't just take us to overhaul. He really doesn't want to know what I can possibly do. As after that, both of them start getting a little bit scared because Izuku done something, quite terrifying. What do you think the other guy that's also wearing such a weird mask will gonna do too? As they basically start walking inside the place, Izuku and Shinso just walking behind of them, and in the end, they finally got into a room with Overhaul. As after that, Overhaul said, "Hey, Bob, what do you want? Don't you see that I'm trying to relax?" As after that, Bob said, I know, Mr. Overhaul, boss, but we have a new recruit that want to join us. As after that, Overhaul said, "Oh, really? Make them come in." And after that, Izuku and Shinso come into the room. And after that, Izuku and Shinso just standing in front of Overhaul as Overhaul said, "So, you want to join my organization, huh? What's your name?" As Izuku speaks up and said, "My name is Smokescreen, and this is Delete. We are both want to join your organization. We thought that joining you might, make us quite stronger and also help you to achieve your dreams or something like that. And also, we have our own target that we want to kill." As Overhaul says, "Really? You have someone that you want to kill? Can I know who's that person?" As after that, Izuku said, "You can say that he is Neck, the headmaster of course, the Public Safety Commission. We want to kill him from a long time, but it's just that we cannot get close to him, at least without another hand." As after that, Overhaul said, "Really? Can I know the reason why do you want to kill him?" As Izuku continues saying, "Well, it's simple. This bastard, he's just doing some things that me and my friend here don't like. We have such an old pay that he didn't pay for us, and we want to make him pay with his blood. So, what do you say? Are you agreeing on joining your organization, Overhaul?" As after that, Overhaul says, "But before I agree on that, what is your quirk?" As after that, Izuku said, "Well, my quirk is simple. I can basically turn myself into smoke and just, do something like this." As Izuku just change him, basically just dash into the left and just do a couple of things. As after that, Overhaul said, "Interesting. You might be useful, but what about the other guy, Delete?" As after that, Shinso said, "Me? It's basically simple. I can control someone for about a couple of seconds. A couple of minutes, to say the least. I can't control him forever, but I can force him to do anything that I want." As after that, Overhaul said, "Oh, really? Like what?" As immediately Overhaul just stopped, and after that, Shinso continues saying, "Stand up, turn around." As he starts, Overhaul starts spinning around, and after that, Kurono from behind of him saying, "What are you doing to our boss?" As after that, Izuku said, "Don't worry, it's his quirk. It's what he can stop it at any time. Come on, Delete, stop it." As after that, yeah, of course, Shinso just stopped using his quirk, and after that, Overhaul just stand up and said, "What, huh. So that's your quirk?" As Shinso just nodding his head, and Overhaul said, "Interesting. Alright, both of you, you're in. And I promise you that at some point in time, I'm gonna help you to get your own revenge." As after that, Izuku said, I think it will gonna be an honor for us to work under your hand, boss." And after that, Overhaul, just raising his hand to shake Izuku, and Izuku just shaking his hand. After that, immediately, Overhaul continues saying, "Kurono, show them the place and tell them what they should do." And after that, Kurono just coming by Izuku and Shinso's side and take them out of the room. After that, Izuku and Kurono and Shinso are just walking down the hallway, as Kurono says, "So, when are you gonna take these masks off?" As Izuku said, "We're not really planning to take them off. We like to keep our secret identity." As after that, Kurono said, "I can understand that, but if you really want to join us or really work with us, and to gain our trust, you will need to take those masks off, even if I am myself wearing a mask. The boss is already knowing my face. Everyone here know my face. Oh, really? Interesting, but I think we will gonna keep these on for a couple of days. Maybe weeks, as Kurano continues saying, keep it as much as you like, but just know that overhaul will not gonna trust you as long as you keep them on. Alright, as Izuku said, alright. And after that, Kurano just showing them a couple of, places, the rooms, places for Izuku and Shinso to stay in, and after that, they just walking beside the, one room, as Shinso said, well, what's inside that room? As Kurano said, this room? We doesn't tell the new recruits about it, at least not now. It's something that should be kept a secret. At least when we were gonna trust you fully, then we will gonna tell you about the secret. But just know, if you ever try to see what's behind that door, you are a dead meat. Understand? As Izuku said, understandable. And after that, of course, Kurano taking Izuku and Shinso back into a room with a couple other of course, the Yakuzas. As Izuku just sitting down by Shinso's side on, some beds. As a couple of, Yakuzas coming closer into Izuku and Shinso, and Izuku said, what do you want from us? As the, couple of the recruits or, the gang said, so you are the new recruits of Overhaul? Pathetic. He doesn't even seem older than 16 years old. As Izuku said, oh, really? Well, we are 16 years old. Isn't that obvious? I thought that is already obvious that we are just kids. As after that, the whole people there start to laugh. As immediately after that, they start saying, oh, so you are kids, and you want to join us. Exactly. How the hell a kid like you want? Why do you want to be a villain? I thought that the kids in your age want to be heroes or some shit like that. As after that, Izuku said, heroes? Don't make me laugh. So, we can, settle this thing peacefully or by the hard way. Do you want me to take my hand out and start suffocating some of you? Or do you want to just lay down a little bit and we can just talk like a new recruits and just, get to know each other? What do you say about that? As after that, Shinso standing by Izuku's side and, whispered to his ear saying, Izuku, you're not gonna kill any of them, right? As Izuku said, not if I will have to. I'm not gonna kill anyone, at least if I have to. As after that, Shinso said, really, Midoriya? As Izuku said, look, Shinso, right now we are inside the nest of the villains. If I will have to kill someone, then so be it. But I promise you that I will not gonna kill someone now. As after that, the whole villains start, all of them start to laugh maniacally, saying, oh, look at this kid. Such a big words from a little worm. Don't you think so, kid? As one of the villains immediately going to throw a punch on Izuku's face. As immediately after that, he being sent back into the wall by a massive amount of, gas into, like a smoke into his chest, throwing him away, making him lose consciousness immediately. And when they look back on Izuku, they only see him lifting up his left arm, which is right now smoking. As Izuku said, don't mess with me. I am in a bad mood. So, do you want to die? Do you want me to suffocate you to death? Or do you want me to just, make things more easier for you? As after that, Izuku hand stopped smoking and he put it down as the villain starts, coming back a little bit as the guy said, you're really such an interesting fellow, aren't you? Well, let's see how you're gonna do against this! As immediately after that, the guy just going at Izuku, and after that, he going to throw a punch as he immediately pierced through Izuku's body. He's literally gone through him and hit himself or his face into the wall. As after that, he fall on his, legs and said, "What the?" As he immediately being meeting up with the hand getting hold of his neck, and Izuku smash him back into the ground, the place that he belonged into. As after that, Izuku said, "I said that I'm in a bad mood," as he immediately sliding him on the ground, throwing him on the other already unconscious guy. As after that, immediately another guy stand up and said, all right, all of us, just stop this already." As after that, Shiso coming closer into Izuku said, "Midoriya, what are you doing?" As Izuku said, "I'm trying to make them fear me, Shinso. I'm trying to build my name. Try to do the same with me." As after that, Shinso said, "Oh, alright." And after that, Shinso said, "Hey, you." As the guy said, "Me?" As he immediately suddenly getting brainwashed, and he said, "Punch the one on your left." And after that, kick the one on your right and immediately punch yourself in the face. As after that, the guy just doing this, exactly what he said. As after that, one of the guys said, "Hey, Kevin, what the fuck are you doing?" As Kevin immediately just punched him in the face. And after that, Shinso said, "Hey, you have a nice hat." As after that, the guy said, "What the?" As immediately he also getting brainwashed. And immediately Shinso continues saying, "Stab the one on your left," and his arm. As Shinso just making some chaos, but in the end, after that, Kurono just come inside the room and said, "What the fuck is happening here?" As after that, he just see a couple of people just fighting against each other, and Izuku just pushing some people back. As after that, he said, "Black smoke screen, delete, what the fuck are you doing?" As Izuku said, "Those little fellas here thought that they are stronger than us. I just try to make my name and also to make sure to show them the place that they belong to. They want to attack me, so I just defended myself." As after that, Kurono said, "Delete, stop what you're doing." As after that, of course, Shinso just stopped. And after that, Kurono said, "Well, it seems that both of you are quite a problem makers, right?" As Izuku said, "Problem makers? Your goons here tried to attack me. I doesn't see this as a problem making. I see it as more of a defense position." As after that, of course, Kurono said, "Whatever you say. Everyone, listen. This is Smoke Screen and Delete. They are the new recruits of Overhaul, and they will gonna be an important aspect in our team. They have a great talent, so don't try to fight them, alright? They are more dangerous than you think of. Even if they are young, they're still dangerous, so treat them as you treat other people here. Make sure that they feel themselves inside their home, alright?" As the other villains, just after that saying, "Alright, Kurono," and immediately Kurono just leave the place, as all of them looking back on Izuku and Shinso. As Izuku just looking at them, seeing them, just looking at, at them angry. As after that, Izuku getting ready to fight, but immediately they coming closer, and immediately their faces changes from anger into smile, as they said, "Kid, you're really strong. What the hell is your quirk? Can you teach me a couple of these, smoke move? What can you do too? Can you just, tell us?" As after that, a couple of other people coming closer into Shinso and said, "Yeah, Delete. You have such a great quirk. What can it do?" As after that, they start throwing, questions after questions on Izuku and Shinso, and they, gave him some, things to eat and things to, drink, as Izuku and Shinso actually having fun with the gangs of Overhaul, as Shinso is quite, weird and a little bit worried, but Izuku's just enjoying himself, but also, just keeping the mask on. He just, took off the lower half of the mask, just showing his mouth, not his full face, just to be able to eat and drink. In the end, they just, sit down and sleep for the rest of the night. And this one gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what do you think about this part, and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Savard was here.